So today I want to talk about why I don't agree with or no longer do myself plan for retirement. So just a little bit of background of how I was raised, because I want you guys to understand that this is different from what I was programmed to believe. So from a young age, even when I got my first job, when I got my first career, when I graduated from university and I got a job, it was very, very important. What I learned was that it was very, very important to think about retirement at a young age, to start planning for retirement at a young age. So to start creating RRSP. I'm Canadian, so we have registered retirement savings plans. So that was very important. The other thing that I was programmed to believe is that pensions were very, very important and very, very valuable, and you needed to get a job where you had a pension. And so retirement savings plans and pensions, they both think about one thing. So you're planning for a day when you will no longer have any income. You retire from your career, 65 years old. That was the standard time. You retire from your career, and then you take your pension, and then you have your registered retirement savings plans, and you're all good because you'll have this income coming in when you no longer have a job. So all of that information, those beliefs that were programmed into me, is a very, very common thing in our society. Many, many people want to have a pension, they want to have benefits, they want to have retirement savings plans. It's normal and it's natural. But when I started studying this material and I started really tapping into different levels of wealth, I realized this belief actually didn't match the reality of life that I wanted. So I want an extraordinary life. I want a life filled with multi-millions of dollars, multiple companies, multiple investments, multiple streams of income. I want a life where money is in excess, where money is always forever flowing, where money is always coming to me. And so I no longer desired a life where at age 65, I would quit the one job that I have and end up in a reality where I no longer have any money or income coming in. So I want to be clear that the belief system that I had before about saving for retirement came from a certain set of beliefs, and it came from a certain lifestyle, a way of living, an experience. The traditional, go to high school, get a degree, and get a job with a pension or benefits, save for retirement, and retire at 65. So I left that box. I made a decision that that was no longer the life that I wanted to lead, no longer the box that I wanted to be living in. And I made a decision that I want an extraordinary life that is outside of this box. So changing this belief around saving for retirement was pivotal. How can you possibly need to save for retirement when you are in so much overflow and so much access with so much investments that income is coming all the time anyway, no matter what, in multiple ways? That's what I want. So this is why I made the decision to no longer plan for retirement. Now, another piece of this, and a lot of people will ask me this, and it can be a bit controversial, is, well, don't you still save money? Like, doesn't it make sense to save money? And I also don't do that anymore. So saving money implies I'm saving it for what? To save money implies that I'm saving it from being spent, to save it from its spending. But when you save money, especially from a belief that there isn't enough, or you might run out of it, or there might be a day where you need your savings, you're planning for a time when you no longer have money. So the word saving, the act of saving, comes from an assumption that you might need it. Now, my dad is a very, very funny man, and I've told the story many times, and he jokes about it and he laughs about it. But he used to tell me to always have in my bank account 6 months worth of expenses. So 6 months of car payments, 6 months of rent, 6 months, enough money for 6 months worth of groceries, 6 months of your phone bills. Have it in your bank account at all times as a safety net. So I believed that, and I was like, oh, okay. So I always tried to have money in my bank account. But when I started studying this work, and I went, this is really interesting. Like, if I believe that I'm going to need 6 months of expenses, then that means that I'm planning for a time in my life where I'm going to go 6 months without income. I'm literally acting in the assumption, just in case, for a time when there's going to be zero income for 6 months. The actions that we take in the assumptions that they are taken in create. So Was there a time when my dad needed his 6 months of income? Of course there was, because he manifested it. He manifested the time when he would lose his job and have no income and need it. We joke about it now because he says he used to tell me that, but he never did it himself. He used to teach me that. But it's what I believe to be true. So I was living from that place. So I no longer save money. I don't save for a rainy day. I don't save just in case. I don't have a nest egg hiding in a bank account somewhere for a time when I'm going to need it. I plan for the experience that I desire. I think from the desired state. I feel from the desired state, and I plan from the desired state. So I'm going to plan for a time when I have so much money I can't even count it all, things like that. I'm going to act in those assumptions, not in the assumptions of having less. The saying where they say, hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Oh no. No. That is using mental transmutation against yourself. In 2022, I decided to become a non-drinker. And throughout my life, I had been celebrating and drinking lots of beautiful champagne and all those incredible things. And I stopped drinking. And it's now been 2.5 years, but I am so excited to partner with this beautiful brand, this beautiful company, Ilia. It is a premium rosé non-alcoholic sparkling. And I am so pumped because as we manifest and as we celebrate, we have a beautiful opportunity to do it for those of us that are now non-drinkers. And one of the most powerful things about this as well is the beauty of this brand. It's so luxurious and so wonderful, from Spain, but the creator is also in this material, and she studies, and she is a very, very powerful manifester. So to our growth and success, and to Ilia. Hope for the best and plan for the best. Act in the assumption that the best is coming and the best will actually come. That is my belief. So saving I don't do. So then people say to me, okay, well, what if you want to buy a house though, and you need a down payment and you need to save for a down payment? What I do is I let my bank account accumulate. Notice the difference in the language. I'm not saving for a house. I'm letting my bank account accumulate. Feels positive, comes from abundance. It feels like a lot. So it feels like I've got a lot of money coming. My bank account is accumulating. It's getting bigger. Oh, this is great. It comes from an abundance mindset, not from lack and limitation, where saving money comes from lack and limitation. So I know it's kind of semantics, but it does really, really make a difference. I also don't budget. So to budget means that there is a limited amount of money, and you must budget that limited amount of money towards the limited things that you're going to do with it. So instead, I allocate my abundance. So where is all my abundance going to go today? Where would I like to allocate all of the money that is coming to and through me? Not budget. Budget comes from lack and limitation. Allocate comes from abundance and prosperity. See the difference in how it feels. The other thing too, when it comes to money and budgets and allocating and things like that, I will also allocate from a future state. So when I have $100 million come to me in 1 year, how will I allocate the money? It puts me on the creative plane. It puts me into abundance and prosperity. It has me planning, but it also creates the demand. So when I create the demand psychologically for $100 million to go here, the universe is like, oh, she needs it. So the law of infinite supply says there is a demand in this woman for $100 million, and we're going to supply her with the demand. If you're saving for retirement, what demand are you creating? The law of infinite supply is like, oh, this lady's going to retire. She's going to have no money soon. She doesn't want any supply. She's not creating demand. So truly, it's all about coming from a place of abundance and prosperity, and no longer believing in and acting in things that come from a different reality. And, there's this sense of safety and security that many people have with pensions and with benefits. And that is okay if that feels good for you and you want to have that sense of safety and security. But to truly live from a prosperity consciousness, which is what many of us actually desire, a true prosperity consciousness, you don't need those safety and security measures because you are the safety and security measure. My consciousness creates prosperity. Therefore, I know for the rest of my life, I will be prosperous. I will be abundant. I will experience wealth in my life. Will there be fluctuations, ups and downs? Yes, it's the law of rhythm. But if I'm operating from a prosperity consciousness, I know that prosperity will be my reality. And one of my favorite things that I ever read, it's Money is God in Action. It's just a little leaflet that I have. And it's, I don't know, it's like 12 pages. Tiny little blue thing. You might be able to find it on Amazon. In there, he actually talks about what prosperity actually is. True prosperity is being okay with being in a state of financial flux. And this is where many people in the world cannot handle this. Cannot do it. It is too hard. I'm freaking out. I'm losing it. So a state of financial flux means you let your bank account drain down to zero, knowing it fills back up. But all of us, as soon as we see a low bank account or a zero bank account, we panic. It actually sends us into a physical state of fear, fight or flight in the nervous system, because that means we're bad, we're wrong, we're not going to be able to pay our bills, we're going to end up out on the streets, we're not going to have enough. But when you're in a true prosperity consciousness and you're thinking from true prosperity, you know that your bank account going back down to zero will fill back up because you are the consciousness, you are the cause that will fill it back up. I have had my bank account go down to zero so many times in this past 5 years. I can't even tell you how many times, because I know that it always just fills back up to as much as you want to let it accumulate it too, right? But truly, saving for retirement has the intention that there is a time in your life where you will retire from what you are doing, from a job, from a career, and you will have no income. I am creating a reality where I will forever and always have income. I have created a reality now where I will always have money flowing to and through me no matter what my age is. But I will always also say this. In this process of manifestation and reprogramming my subconscious mind and my beliefs, I no longer prescribe to the idea that we have a job, a vocation, a career. I no longer prescribe to the idea that I need to do something to make money or be productive. I actually prescribe to the idea that I have a calling, that I am here to do good in this world. And that call to good in teaching this material, this information, is not a job, it is not a career, it is not a vocation, it is a passion. It is what I am meant to do. It is my raison d'être, which is reason for being. And when you have a reason for being, you don't go to a job every day. You don't only do something because you get paid. You don't save for retirement. You don't ever retire. This is who I am, and this is what I do, and this is why I am here. And so I am not saving for a day where I retire from this, because I do not retire from who I am. It is not a part of my experience. So if you're looking for more fulfillment in your life, more joy, more passion, if you want to live a life now where there isn't a difference between how you live and how you work, people ask me, are you here for work? No, I'm here to live. I am living my life, and part of living my life is recording this podcast. So am I working right now? Well, according to some of you who have jobs that work for a living, I guess I'm at work. But for me, a woman who is living in her passion and doing what she loves, I am so grateful that this is my life and this is how I get to live and this is something that I get to do. It is fun, it is enjoyable, it is incredible, and it is a beautiful way that I get to serve people by teaching this material on a podcast. I saw something the other day that was so brilliant, and I'll leave this here for any of you that it will resonate with. But I don't have a job. I have a partnership with God. And when you are in partnership with the source energy and the creator of all there is a completely different experience for you. So I hope you see where I'm coming from with some of these languages, these titles, these actions, and see how my life has become so much bigger and better than I ever imagined when I allowed myself to really live in the purpose of who I am. So no more saving for retirement. We're going to live in our purpose and our reason for being, and really believe that we can make an impact on this world, because you absolutely can. Please remember that the limit does not exist.